What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo. The first thing I want to do is I want to apologize for the statements that I made in the beginning of yesterday's video regarding Netmarble with the post that was up in the forums, because it was a huge mistake that I made, complaining and whining about that whenever they were talking about the Deimos Base 6, which is the current one that we're actually on right now. I've already ranted and raved about all of that, and there really is no need to do it again. And I just want to be fair to Netmarble and really fair to anyone that has any kind of criticisms or any changes about what I say. So I just want to again say I'm sorry to Netmarble for that, but you do need to address Deimos. And speaking of Deimos, I want to address some comments that I've been seeing in the videos regarding Deimos Base. And this, guys, before we get into this, this is not a knock or a slant on anybody. These players have supported me and been in the channel. They've commented multiple times. They're just giving their perspective and just putting out some legitimate criticism against me or against what I say, but I think they're really missing the point of what I'm actually trying to say regarding something like Deimos Base and what they have recently done. So I'll pull it up for you guys right now. And this gentleman right here, Mr. Ken Masters, thank you, Ken Masters, for putting up a comment on the video. I really do appreciate it, man. Criticism is always welcome. I always respect honesty, guys. I love it. And he says, I couldn't be more disappointed with you. I'm free to play and I'm already at stage 25. That is amazing, dude. Awesome. Without having to use even one of the heals they sent us in the mail. Big thumbs up, my friend. That's awesome. For a mode that needs a head to read what it says, an ability to dodge the dots. And yes, you can absolutely dodge the dots. You can absolutely avoid damage. That's 100% true. My characters do not reach the BP of yours, not even jokingly. It seems that the only thing you do is see how much damage your characters do in boss raid, because when you have to put in a little effort, goodbye. So, I guess he's saying goodbye to me because he feels like all I want to do is just put a little effort into my game, which just have super strong characters and just plow through everything. And that couldn't be further from the truth. The problem that I have with the game mode, okay, the problem that I have with Deimos Base is the fact that, yeah, it is difficult. Yes, and I do think it's way too difficult for what you're actually receiving. Whenever you have an A6 character with, this much BP, guys, right? When you have, 320,000 when I have another option card on them, when you have this kind of BP and this kind of investment, money-wise, ruby-wise, and then you just get hit twice in stage 1 and lose half your life, the problem is they're doing too much damage to you, okay? Why are they doing so much damage to you whenever you're only in stage 1, okay? Yes, if I play a certain way, if I use certain leaderships, if I use EX Warang, who's actually pretty godly in this game mode because you can pretty much keep up your hyper arm up all the time. But on this account, I don't have that character. I can't do that, right? So it's just, to me, it's just unfair of Netmarble to throw in this decreased recovery that they have, in this game mode for the rewards that you're getting. You're only getting an SS and BS memory, not to mention the amount of time that it takes to do this. Let me put things in perspective for you, okay? So for those out there that critique, me and say, I just want it easy and all this, that's not true at all. Difficulty is always welcomed. I want more difficulty, but the rewards have to weigh in on it. You have to have the right rewards rewarding you for the difficulty that you put in and rewarding you for putting a certain amount of investment in your characters. When you spend $500 or you spend 70,000 rubies, whatever, on a character, especially an EX character, you expect them to perform super, super well. You shouldn't need to throw in a bunch of little different leaderships and things like that, especially early on in Deimos Base, right? I show the amount of damage that characters can do in Guild Raid because a lot of players just like it. They like seeing, these characters do these crazy numbers, and it is fun to watch and it is fun to see, right? But I don't base everything completely on damage. It's just in games, that's just kind of how things generally go. We're always looking at the strongest characters. We're always looking at the highest damage possible. If Deimos, look at this, guys, okay? I can come into Absolute War and put in very little effort in this game mode. I don't need A6 characters. In fact, I could get away with A1 characters. I put out videos before about this to where I could easily win, even using old Fest characters, and win and get that 1,000+ rubies a week. Deimos Base gives you, how many rubies are we going to get from Deimos Base? Let's take a look here real quick, okay? Deimos Base gives you, right? It's going to give you 300. It's going to give you 1,200 rubies a week. I can get pretty much that amount of rubies from Absolute War with little effort, right? And look at the time that it takes to play Absolute War. It doesn't take that long. This is the problem with the game mode. Yeah, you get an SS and BS memory, but those are characters that are just outdated anymore, and people don't really use them unless they're using them maybe as a support. But you can absolutely murder content with only EX characters, obviously, right? So it doesn't make sense. The game has this weird way of trying to balance out things because they don't balance anything, guys. It's not balanced at all. The game mode, and another thing about Deimos Base is the fact that, we could get through it. It wasn't super easy before, but we could get through it and it was fine. All the players were happy. Everybody was getting through it. And now, because of what they've done, a multitude, and most of the comments that I'm seeing, a multitude of players are having a tremendous amount of difficulty. You say you got to stage 25. That is awesome. It really is. Man, seriously, I applaud you. That's amazing. No sarcasm. That's awesome. All right. But stage 25 isn't good enough because you're still not getting that SS and BS memory, right? And, how difficult is it for you to do that, right? How much time and effort do you have to put in the game mode in order to go all the way to the end? Is it really worth the rewards? I never said that you couldn't get through Deimos Base. I never said that it can't be done. I never said that. What I'm saying is the rewards don't reward the player. You're not getting good enough rewards for the effort, the time, and investment that you're putting in characters for that game mode. You're not. And I would argue that all day, and I stand by what I say. I want things to be difficult. I want some in-game content for sure. But the in-game content has to reward players for their investment. That is a big problem that Netmarble has, not only with Kofas, but also with Marvel Future Fight. They have this thing where you'll invest tremendously in a character, you'll be able to push high levels of world boss content in that game, but the reward's the same doing a stage 90 clear against a world boss versus a stage 1. And this game is kind of the same thing. Netmarble always has this thing where they don't want to reward players for the amount of investment that they're actually putting into the characters. If we had an EX character or an EX memory in Deimos Base, if there was an EX memory in here and the difficulty was the way it is right now, I've said this in past videos, I would be okay with it because I feel like the reward would be worth it. But because it's just SS and BS memories, it's not worth it. And I already explained how we get over 1,000 rubies in Absolute War every week with little effort, right? Compared to this, it's fire and ice. These modes are at completely different levels, right? Deimos is way harder than Absolute War. I don't think anybody would argue with that. Yet we can get over 1,000 rubies from that game mode. But in this game mode, you get 800 rubies, or 1,200 rubies. You get an SSBS memory, but it's just not good enough, guys, for the effort that you're putting into it. And I don't like to keep ranting on this, but I just wanted to address that comment because I've seen some other familiar comments like that. And, some players just tend to think that all I want is just it easy. No, I don't want it to be easy, but I want the rewards to reflect the investment that you're putting in the game, that you're putting into these characters, right? Guys, seriously, $500+ right there. Lost half his life in stage 1. That's just ridiculous. And yes, if I would dodge properly, if I would avoid things, I wouldn't take damage. But the fact that just getting hit once or twice, losing that much damage, just shows the difficulty level of this, right? And is it worth it to spend hours of your time trying to go to 50 stages to get that BS and SS memory? Is it really worth it to you? When there's other game modes where you can actually gain a lot of rubies from with much less effort? I don't think so. And that's really the point that I'm trying to drive home. Make content as hard as you want, Netmarble. It's all good. But you got to reward the players for what you're doing. If you're going to make content super difficult, then by all means, give us rewards that are extremely rare and extremely hard to come by. You can actually get a VS and SS memory from Guild Raid if you're lucky. And you guys have been recently giving away SS and BS memories in these updates. So it's not a super rare reward that we're actually even getting. That's why if they put an EX memory in there, it would be just fine. And again, I want to say thank you to the gentleman for posting up that comment, for being critical of me, for saying what he feels and what he thinks, because I mean, that's really the only way to be, my friends. So please, no negativity towards this gentleman because, he's just being an honest, upfront dude. And I truly appreciate it. So, guys, let me know what you think about what I've said today. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. GT+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody.